Hey, Busy Bees. Today we are back with a new book of the My Weird School series, Book 7, Mrs. Cooney is Loony by Dan Gutman. But before we get into our new book of the day, we are going to get into our riddle of the day. And the riddle of the day is, if you take away one hand, some will remain. What am I? And I'll read it again. If you take away one hand, some will remain. What am I? And I will give you the answer to our riddle at the end of our chapter. So let's pop open the book and fly through this adventure together. So opening up our new book, Book 7. Here's our table of contents. It goes up to 12 chapters, so around the same, just like the last couple of books we've read. Here are our characters. We have AJ, Emily, Ryan, Michael, and Andrea. Our same main character since book 1. So here we are, chapter 1. I was a genius. My name is AJ, and I hate school. The worst part about second grade is math. I don't get it. If we have calculators, why do we need to learn math? That's like walking to school when you could ride your bike. It makes no sense, if you ask me. Who can tell me what 2 times 10 equals? Asked my teacher, Miss Daisy. A few kids raised their hands. I didn't. Miss Daisy called on this crybaby girl, Emily, who has red hair. Miss Daisy, I don't feel very well, Emily said. Can I go to the nurse's office? Rest your head on your desk for a few minutes, Emily, said Miss Daisy. If you don't feel better, you can go see Mrs. Cooney. Emily put her head on her desk. Now who can tell me what 2 times 10 equals? Miss Daisy asked again. AJ? I had no idea what 2 times 10 equaled. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I had to think fast. I knew that 2 plus 2 is 4, and I knew that 2 times 2 is also 4. So I knew that addition and multiplication were pretty much the same thing. I also knew that 2 plus 10 equals 12. So 2 times 10 must equal 12 too. 12? I guessed. Sorry, AJ, said Miss Daisy. Oh, I know, said Andrea Young, this really annoying girl with curly brown hair. She was waving her hand back and forth like it was on fire. Call on me. Miss Daisy, please? Andrea thinks she knows everything. I wish I could punch her. But nah, boo-boo on her, because Andrea didn't get the chance to answer. At that very moment, the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. Emily got up from her seat really fast. She ran to the window, and then she threw up. It was cool. Me and my friends Michael and Ryan looked at each other and tried not to laugh. I was glad that I wasn't walking under the window when Emily threw up. After she finished puking her guts out, Emily ran out of the room crying. Go to Mrs. Cooney's office, Emily, Miss Daisy yelled to her. Then Miss Daisy went to the intercom and told Mrs. Cooney that Emily was on her way down there. It took a few minutes for all of us to stop talking about what had happened. I mean, it wasn't every day that a kid tossed her cookies out the window. I was sure Miss Daisy would forget all about math after that. But no way. Now, AJ, try to figure it out, Miss Daisy said. 2 times 10. 2 tens. We went over this. Think hard. So I thought hard. I thought, and I thought, and I thought. This is what I thought. Emily's going to get to go home. She doesn't have to sit through math. That lucky stiff. My friend Billy, around the corner, who was in second grade last year, told me about this kid in his class who got to go home from school after he sneezed with his eyes open and his eyeballs fell out. Right out of his head. I wasn't sure if that was true, but I did know one thing. If you get sick, you get to go home. I didn't want my eyeballs to fall out of my head, but I wanted to go home. I wanted to get out of math. I started moaning. AJ, are you okay? Asked Miss Daisy. I don't feel well, I said. I think I might have to throw up. out the window. I think I'm gonna die. There must be something going around, said Miss Daisy. Go to Mrs. Cooney's office and hurry. All right. I was a genius. On my way out of the class, I winked at Ryan and Michael. So long, suckers, I whispered. Have fun in math. I had been to the nurse's office a few times before. Once I fell off the monkey bars in the playground and landed on my head. I had to go to the hospital and everything. It was cool. The doctor took an x-ray of my brain, but he told me he didn't find anything. Then he laughed, even though he didn't say anything funny. Getting out of math wasn't the only reason I wanted to go to Mrs. Cooney's office. There was another reason, but I can't tell you what it is. I shouldn't be telling you. Okay, I'll tell you. But you have to promise not to tell anybody else or you're going to die as soon as the words leave your lips. Here it is. Mrs. Cooney is the most beautiful lady in the history of the world. And that is the end of our chapter for today. So we have our introduction chapter where we get to know who Mrs. Cooney is. So she is the nurse. And then we have AJ and all the main characters of our story. So now let's get into our riddle of the day. So the riddle was, if you take away one hand, some will remain. What am I? And the answer is, drum roll please, handsome. Do you get it? Handsome. So if you take away one hand, so you take away the hand, some will remain. What am I? Handsome. Because we put those two words together. If you like this video, give it a like. And if you'd like to follow along for more adventures, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you on the next one.